I really don't belong. I can't explain it. When I close my eyes, I see a strange reality. Am I dreaming, or on the edge of remembering? You wake up feeling like you really don't belong. You can't explain it, but when you close your eyes you see familiarity. Are you dreaming, or on the edge of remembering? Hello, hello. Okay, that's a little better. And let's see what the properties are for that. Yes, there was an update. Every time there's a damn update, we have a damn problem. But it looks like we're okay now, and hopefully you actually heard the opening song, otherwise, you know. Okay. Okay, we are live on, is it on or in YouTube? We're in YouTube, live on YouTube, and no, let me double check. No, the heat is still not on. That's right. Yesterday our heat went off, and before coming on I was going to come on and do an evening show, but by the time evening came it was too chilly to sit out here. So I set up my little space heater in the bedroom and camped out there. And if the heat is not fixed tonight, I'll be doing the same thing. Stay warm in one room, not worry too much about what's going on out here. One of those things. We're going to have the coldest night of the year, and we have no heat. But that's what happened around Christmas. It was our first cold week, and that's when our heater first went out. So, I mean, I'm not complaining because after all, it's a whole building. There's 100 units that have no heat. I can't take it personally, you know what I mean? And right now I am fine, so we'll enjoy the fineness and attempt to do weird stuff over here just for fun. I want to thin that out a little bit, and let's see, what do I want to use? I want different. Yeah, let's try this. My reliable little fan. Now this is just a clear glue that's supposed to be the equivalent of a white glue. You know, basically non-toxic for kids. Water soluble, water cleanup. Now in that instance, I'm so glad that this is a balloon and not an egg. For a second, my brain told me this was an egg, because I've worked with so many thousands of eggs. They're like, you know, in there in my psyche. Okay, now I came out this morning and I dislodged this mostly from the actual balloon, just to see how it did, and it did fine. But we're going to make it a little bit different here now. I think we'll start at the top. I love doing water-based stuff. Cleanup is so much easier. Also, this, unlike the stuff I was using yesterday, the Liquitex medium varnish, one of my favorite things to work with, that I have to put rubber gloves on to work with, because if that gets on my skin, it stays on my skin for way longer than I wanted to. So this is nice because I just have to rinse my hands off with plain water and it all comes off. The other stuff is a struggle to get off. Because it has made me go, I wonder if I tried this years ago on my fingertips, I would have played the guitar easier. You know, for those of you who never tried to play the guitar, when you're first learning, you develop, well, you have to develop calluses from playing, and it takes time to do that, and it hurts. So learning how to play the guitar is not exactly painless. It's worth the effort, but it doesn't make it less painless. But after a while, you develop calluses, and you don't even notice your fingertips so much. But when you're first learning, you get these railroad tracks, we used to call them, in your fingers. You finish practicing, you look at your fingers, go, ah! But then you'd feel kind of proud of yourself that you persevered. You got through it. I know scams. Meg, hi. I'm not sure. Let's see. I got a haul on Monday, so the stream happened on Tuesday, and then Wednesday I went shopping and got these glasses. And thank you. I'm so glad you enjoyed. Yes, I'm looking forward to the next video. How are you doing? Let's hang this up for a minute. Oh, got too many things scared. Okay, turn that off. There we go. I have to move this a little closer. Too much. Well, I am having a good day overall, except for not having any heat. Our heat went out yesterday. And by the time the sun was down, so was our heat. They were waiting for some company to come over here and freaking fix it. There are 100 units here with no heat. Now, I have a little space heater, so I'm not freezing. But once the sun goes down, Toblerina and I are going to want to go hightail it back into the bedroom and keep the heat in a small central area. Well, you know, not central area. This is the central area. And it's definitely chilling down right now. Because usually coming out from behind me is a lot of heat. And right now it's coming off the wall cold. Yes, quite cold. They have better come soon. Yes. Because not everybody here has a space heater. So I let the senior advisor and a few people know I've got an electric blanket in case somebody is freezing, so that we don't lose any of our tenants. And they have no idea. It went out last night. The complaints started last night, mine among them. I called us to let them know it's down again. Definitely down again. I mean, dead cold down again. And so they've been apparently trying to get somebody since then. And I spoke with the maintenance guy today, and they're just waiting. So there's really nothing they can do at the moment. Just continue to wait. But if we focus on what is and it's not pleasing to us, then we are helping maintain what is. And why do that? Because what is not what we want. We have to think about what it is we want. What I want is warm, right? Nice and warm. So I'm not going to sweat it. Well, I guess really not. If it's cold, I won't be able to sweat. But I chose a card. As you saw, I did it without looking, so it was random. And it says, I can't read it. There we go. I release all resistance to money, and I now allow it to flow joyously into my life. The word joyously has great meaning. In this case, my good comes from everywhere and everyone. And it does. It does, my dears. It does. You must release the anxiety, and that's hard to do when things are not going your way. But you have to experience the feeling of relief first. You have to follow your body. If your body is saying it's nervous about something, you have to do something to dispel that. You need to remember to focus on what it is you desire. Imagine the best, not the worst. When you catch yourself imagining the worst, say null and void. This is what I want. And then you focus that with feeling. There should be some joy rising in you, happiness, when you are picturing what you really want. If you do not have a matching vibration, you're not doing this effectively. And because your feelings are so important, because that's what's creating your now and your future, because feelings are so important to proper manifestation. If you are feeling like crap, stop trying to manifest. You do not manifest from a bad feeling place. Why would you want to manifest more? Because that's what's going to happen. More things to feel that lousy feeling over. So you need to stop, focus, get on something that makes you feel delight, joy, excitement, all good things. So whatever it takes to change your point of attraction is what it takes. And if you're having a bad day and you just can't get out of that feeling, then just give yourself that break to feel what you're feeling. And work on changing it up for your own benefit, of course. But don't punish yourself if it's not coming up where you want it to come. I've been having a very successful week in terms of energy. I've had my lulls, you know, when I have a reaction to something, and then having to stop that reaction. You have to catch it first and then say, nope, nope, no, no. I see what I'm doing here, and it's not helping me. And when you recognize that, then you can say, what would help me? What would feel better? What can I think about that makes me feel like dancing? And if you can't come up with something, then maybe put some music on that does make you feel like dancing for real. If you can dance yourself into a joyous state, which is actually what I did on Monday, all the better. Well, actually, all of it is unnecessary. All of it is unnecessary. Anything that doesn't make you feel good about yourself or your situation is working against you to spend any time there. So, of course, you know, when something bad happens, you need to take time to deal with that. But if we have tripped ourselves up and find ourselves having to do things that are against our nature or desires, and we know it, we're the only one we can blame, otherwise we're playing victim, right? Then we have to do whatever we can to correct it. And anything less is just going to be a betrayal to ourselves. Nothing good comes of ruminating over the reasons to suffer or feel bad about something. Nothing good can come of it, because it's the exact opposite of creation. It's getting you stuck in a pattern. And when something happens that's really bad and you need some time to recuperate from it, that's not a pity party. But I always said, you know, you need to be able to grieve, you need to be able to do things in a certain way before you can move on. But I'm a solution-oriented person because survival made me that way. To survive, you cannot be sitting thinking about reasons to cry. You can't sit there and cry. Now, I'm better now. I know you can cry and should cry. When things are overwhelming, let the body do what it wants to do. And if it feels like crying, let it out. That's your body talking to you. It needs that release. Do it. Don't keep fighting it like there's something wrong with crying. But only so far can we go with our self-pity. You have to turn around at some point and go, crying is not solving the problem. It's not changing the circumstances. Nothing is changing. Only way it's going to change is if I take action. And so you have 24 hours, and if it's something really bad, like the loss of something you love, give yourself 48 hours to feel sorry for yourself. But then it's either you're just straight up grieving, which you have a right to do, and that goes on for whatever time that takes, or you have to come up with solutions. What's more important, feeling bad or feeling good, right? But don't feel bad if you don't catch that right away. It's a self-training process that it takes our whole lifetime. The ability to just catch something that we're doing. It's not easy. You know, but it sounds like you did catch yourself. Now you have to talk yourself out of it. So when we get like that, it all depends. I don't know what the circumstances are that are making you feel bad for yourself. But we all go through this at different points in our lives. So you're not unusual. It's just to keep it from becoming self-damaging. That's why you have to take yourself in hand and ask yourself, is it worth all this energy? Am I suffering too much? Did I give too much of myself away? Did I allow somebody to cross boundaries? I did not defend my boundaries strongly enough. Don't waste time in self-recrimination. When that happens, you have to turn around and see if you can get that boundary redrawn, renegotiate. But sometimes you just have to suck it up that you made a mistake or jumped into something or whatever. You know, like I said, I don't know your circumstances, but don't be even harder on yourself for feeling bad for yourself, because then it's really bad for you. It's like, okay, forgive yourself from whatever the past was and then move on. Time to turn the heat up a little. Well, it's okay when that happens. You know, these are really old patterns, and considering your age, the fact that you're catching them is awesome. It takes practice, Meg. That's all it is. You catch it, and you go, wait a second. What would be a better feeling thought? That's what you want to do. Is what's a better feeling thought? But you have to just let it go. You know. There you go. Good girl. I'm proud of you. That is great. I was going to ask about that. Yeah, she'll find excuses because she doesn't really want the responsibility. She wants the fun parts, that she doesn't want to do the shit you got to do to really raise a puppy right. So you called her bluff. You called her on it. Kudos to you. You did not allow yourself to get manipulated into taking on somebody else's responsibility, because that is very much a narcissist's trick. I want this. Oh, well, not unless, if I have to take care of it, forget it. I just want it. I want it this way exactly. This is actually why I hate hearing how people have to have a dog or a cat of a specific breed. Now, I do get it. There are certain kinds of lifestyles, and dogs go with certain lifestyles. Like, if you're living in a little apartment like this, you should not have a large dog. It's just not fair to the poor dog. Dogs, they need a lot of space. And if you're going to have a small apartment, then get something very small. Yeah. I'm so glad. The last thing you need is to have this. You've got a job interview ahead of you. You've got all kinds of other things on your mental plate. So the last thing you need is taking care of your mother's new baby. And I hope that your mom is not the kind of person that starts playing other little games with things like that, like throwing guilt at you. Oh, well, you're going to be moving far away, and I'm not going to have anything. I'm not going to see you as much. Yes, on one hand, I want you to leave, but on the other hand, really, I'd like you to be around when I want you around. But, you know, I thought a dog would take your place a little bit. But now I'm really alone. I have lots of snippy responses to things like that. but you know, I'm a snip. Or a bitch, you know. I could be called either way. Oh, wonderful. I'm glad. Oh, I see. Well, yeah, I get that. It's a plus. But isn't the free stuff all like standby? Which can be its own problems, especially if you need connecting flights. I have gone standby, but that was because I gave up my seat so a family could fly together in a crowded Christmas Eve thing. Oh my god. And trying to give out your free passes? Holy shit. Go to work for me, girl. Oh, Meg. I'm sorry. That sucks. Now, I actually have a family member that is like a lifer pilot. I think he was out of Denver, and I don't know if he's still flying at all, but he's actually my big brother, my stepbrother though, and I didn't meet him until the day of my mother's funeral. So it's not like I would call him up and ask him for any favors. But I know because of his connections, my stepfather, his father, is able to fly when he needs to. God, you don't even have the fucking job. Yeah, I was on the holidays. The only time I go flying is like because someone's getting near dying. You know, I've not had money to just vacation like that. So all the vacations I've had is because Richard came in and he was on vacation and he was paying for the hotel room or he was paying for the train or the whatever. So yeah, we haven't been on a train together. Oh yes, we were in Boston, the local trains. Yeah, I feel for you. I feel for you. Yeah, my mom would have tried to pull a little bit of that, just a little. She wouldn't have gone too crazy with it because she doesn't like to fly. She didn't like to fly. Give her a train or a car, but no airplanes. But she would be looking for, oh well, maybe you can get a trip for your sister to come and visit me. That's something more like what she would have done. Or now you can visit me more often because you can fly for free. Yeah. Yeah, Meg, don't you have passes for everyone in your family and friendship circle? Everyone on Discord? You know, your whole D&D group? Come on. I keep getting a notice that my laundry detergent will be delivered tomorrow. Thank you. But how many times do I need to hear it? It's just laundry detergent. I have limited excitement about that. I don't even need it immediately. Anyway. Right, there you go. That's all you're working for, so that everybody else can take a free flight. How rude. I do enjoy flying if, and only if, I don't feel crowded. On the occasions I've had somebody crush against me because I like the window seat. I have had those times. Like, I really don't like flying right now. I liked it very much before this smelly fat person sat in half his well, all of his and half of my chair, my seat. And that's not putting fat people down, because, you know, they can't help it, a lot of them. It's just, I'm a very small person. So, you know, something like that, I'm not going to really be comfortable. But, and these days, you know, I'm working on self-control of my mouth. But, you know how I tore that old lady a new asshole right there on the street about her pushing COVID hoaxes? If I happened to be present on a flight and some asshole was pulling that I'm not wearing a mask and you can't make me, it's un-American and da-da-da, and I was on that flight, I don't know if I could keep my mouth shut. I might have to be tranquilized. I'm so sick of stupid, I just can't put up with it anymore. Oh, and if you're wondering why I'm sitting here separating these, it's because, well, they're a big jumble, and I decided they are small enough to go on this. So I've got pink and beige, or gold, pale gold, and I'm hoping, see how tiny they are? It's the only thing small enough to use on a tow ballerina, anything, because she's so small. Or I could do reverse, use the gold ones on the pink and the pink ones on the gold. It's not really outstandingly different. Yeah, they are right now. Who knows if they'll stay that way, but I don't put up with bullshit, and if anybody tried to pull any shit, or if anybody harassed a airline attendant, they really think I'm gonna sit quietly? No. The bull terrier comes out in me, and see, this is one of the things I'm trying to get more of a control on, and I've been really good overall. You should see me testing myself reading the news and not spitting at my computer screen. So, I mean, I've really improved. Okay, let's see if we can get the lighter plastic ones to rise to the top better. Let's see if I can do it even better. Let's try on an angle. Hey, float to the top, suckers. I think I just jumbled them up better. Come on. I had this down to a science. And now it's completely amateur. Well, Meg, anytime you find yourself talking yourself into circles, please feel free to connect with me. Let me know. I'll be happy to distract you or give you something else to think about, or help you address whatever it is that's being so stubbornly invasive in your mind. Not silver. Come on. Little goldy beigey things. And not cute little keys. Oh no. No, that's the wrong attitude. It's a good time to catch things. And you're completely normal with it. It's not like there's something wrong with you. And helping people get out of that and find better feeling thoughts is what I do. So, and also you're my friend. I mean, I think of you that way. So I would hate for you not to access me. That's the nice thing about being human. You know, you have a down day, and when I'm up, and I can bring you up, and then I have a down day, and you can help bring me up. We take turns. And you're not bugging me, you're a friend. And I'm a friend who is capable of saying, I can't do anything with this right now. I'm busy. Really can't do this. Or if I can't right the moment, I will say something like, can we talk in an hour? Or I just got in bed. Can we talk in the morning? Unless it's something like, you know, a serious thing, of course I'd be there for you any time of day or night. Don't think about it like you're bothering people. That's a mistake. It's we support each other. That's what we're here for. You know, excuse me, the book Ask and It Is Given is a wonderful book. It's the primer in how to properly use the law of attraction. And the reason it's a good primer is because it gives you all the examples of all the different emotional states and tips for how to change from one state to the next. When you see it laid out in a graph or a list, it's way different than just having things in your head. Very, very helpful in learning how to navigate all that kind of thing, so you don't find yourself falling back into the same pattern right away. And instead of going through like 3 or 4 episodes in close succession, you have one and be done. So there's nothing too small, you know what I mean? It's being human, so you can't measure things that way. Oh. Meg, no problem at all. I'm happy to be here for you. So, I mean, this is what I've been doing for 14 years. I obviously enjoy doing it, or I wouldn't offer. And I can't make that offer to every single person on the planet. But you have proven yourself to be an awesome person. You work toward your goals. You catch yourself. You correct your course. I think, you know, you're doing great. So I want you to continue doing great and greater things for yourself. I can contribute anything to that, then it pleases me greatly. We all need somebody to lean on. Nope, I'll need to plug the phone in because that's my chat room on the phone. Come here, plug. I should get more of these cables. High speed. Very happy with it. 10 feet. Yeah, voicemail. Go away, spammers. I know what you're doing. Okay. Welcome to live chat. Thank you. Okay, so let's see what else is going on. We've got the weekend now. And the good thing about the weekend, no work, right? You've got the weekend off. And what kind of weather you have for the weekend? This weekend. Are you getting this shitty ice storm stuff? Yeah, this is definitely my favorite. However, occasionally I trip over it or step on it. And when I do that, it means I have to buy another cable. So I buy 2 at a time. I keep one out here and one in the bedroom. And do my best not to destroy them. They're very reasonably priced now on Amazon. The 10-foot with the, you know, the old-fashioned Android cable. I think I got 2 for $7 or something like that. So I can't gripe about that. Because I paid more for those and they didn't last as long as these do. Oh yeah. Yeah, cold and horrible here too. Well, sunny. But yeah, we're going to, I think, -12 or something like that. I gotta look again. Let me check. Because I'm starting to get centigrade and Fahrenheit mixed up. Let's see. Alright, when I got up this morning it was 31 degrees. Or -1 Celsius. And we have wind chill warnings for tonight. We're in the red. It's going to be -5 tonight. Before wind chill. So let's see what they're saying. Chance of flurries, chance of flurries. Oh. But tonight, oh, we're going to -7. And wind chill values between -15 and -25. So I was right. So you're probably getting something similar, right? We will have wind 23 to 28 miles an hour, decreasing to 17 to 22 miles an hour after midnight. Winds could gust as high as 45 miles an hour. Oh my God, they better get that heat fixed. People will die. Mostly sunny on Sunday. Saturday, sunny and cold with a high near 19 degrees Fahrenheit. That's not good. Yeah, that's not good at all. Yep. Cold and horrible. Well, hot cocoa. Okay, so D&D. Oh, yay. Now, you guys playing in person? I am looking forward to my next D&D session, but a date has not been set. The Dungeon Master went to visit some family and also was able to visit 2 people who are in the Dungeons and Dragons game. That would be so fun. But the virtual ones are great. I mean, that's all I've done so far, but I'm really enjoying those. The nice thing about it being virtual is when you take a break, you've got your own kitchen and bathroom, and you can jump up and do your thing. I know this is really boring, just watching me separate beads, but I can't take the next step unless I do this. And my only other choice would be to go to a store and buy these, if I can find the colors. But I'm fairly sure that if I have all of these mixed in together, that's how it came. Because I'm not one for mixing things together unless they... Like these were, well, the box that all my beads were in had been jiggled and dropped and everything so many times that when I opened it, beads fell out everywhere. So, we play on that map game, that map that I gave you, and then we have PDFs of our character sheets and a Google Doc that has backstory. But we play with the maps sitting on the screen online. Owlbear? Does that sound right? Or Owlbear Rodeo or something like that. I think the word rodeo is in it. Does that make any sense to you? I will have to ask the Dungeon Master to get something more specific. But it's worked out very well, and that website also enables you to use the digital dice rolls if you want. So if you're mad at your dice, you can use the digital ones. Yeah, okay, good. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's not the tabletop, it's the map. We see the maps. And the cool thing is that the way he does it, he exposes parts of the map as you need to see it. So like when you walk into a village, you've got the general map of an area, but you can't see it all because it's all blacked out until you're actually like close enough to see it. And as you move around, then he starts unmasking different areas of the journey. So, yeah, I love it. He's so good at what he does. But he's been a DM for at least 7 years. So, you know, he's got some time under his belt with that. Also, he's a graphic artist by trade. So he's good at adding little addition things like lightning bolts and stuff. And greetings to you, Charlie. How are you today? Ready for the weekend. You've had a weekend all week. Or half a week. So, February's child. So the Feb guy has a birthday in Feb, obviously. And has your group decided they have to do something about that, or it's just a factoid? Well, I have a friend that is a lifer. He was a lifer and retired from GM. He started working for GM through a lot, repossessing cars. Like, you go in the middle of the night and you steal a car back. It's like, ew. People are going to wake up and the car is going to be gone because they missed a couple of payments. What a job. Oh, I see. Never mind. GM. General Motors. Is that what you like? Or does GM stand for something else? I figured with your studying of finances, you probably came across GM in the stock market. Oh, I see. Grandmaster. Yes, that's quite different. Well, I prefer DM, Dungeon Master. Leading an awesome game of Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, by the way, I finally saw the first episode of Wednesday on Netflix. And it's freaking great. I will be watching that. Yes. It's a wide, wide world with lots of stuff in it to do. This is so tiresome. In any case, you asked me what my friends were going to do about that. Yeah, are they doing anything about it? Because I know you mentioned before people buying a gift for somebody and having to put in together. That was for a friend who was, I don't know, what was she doing? Falling down the rabbit hole of gossip. Never mind. let's just drop it before it gets any more convoluted. So back to Wednesday. Charlie, have you seen it? Oh, it was a birthday gift, okay. No, that's purple. Tiny little beads. Wednesday. The series. There's 8 episodes, I think. I don't know if it's done, but I read what they were all about, and I think the whole thing is, it's kind of like a really long mystery movie, but I love it. And I'm not into mysteries, but this is funny. And a little ghoulish, but funny. I can definitely relate to Wednesday. Well, I mean, not anymore, but yeah. I brought it up because I saw the first episode yesterday and I thought it was awesome. That is why I brought it up. And I asked if anybody else had seen it. I don't think you should see it. No, you probably would not. It's very popular right now, I guess. So, yeah. Well, it's called Wednesday because the star character, her name is Wednesday. Well, he is in Portugal, so it's possible. That was very popular when I was a kid. You know, the original series. So I was enamored of Wednesday and her family when I was much, much younger. So deliciously macabre. Expression. Wednesday Addams is a person in the Addams family. You know, there were a couple of movies, The Addams Family, this, and The Addams Family that. Have you been watching it, Meg? Well, it certainly wasn't the Brady Bunch. All together, oogie, the Addams Family. I've only seen the first episode. I totally love it. I so relate to her. I'm the only one who can torture my brother. Whatever. I'm not interested in what you're talking about, so let's change the subject to something I want to talk about. Here's something better. Because I don't know what you're talking about. This is why I say he shouldn't see it. He does not need any atoms in him, you know? Yeah, I know. Enough about you. Let's go on to me. Talks about including AI in court. For what? I know. Let me say goodnight. Sweet dreams. Sweet dreams. And see you in the morning. And then the smileys. He will respond, and then I will put that away again. I have to stop looking down like that. For taking simple decisions and physical safety and promoting, I think it's absolutely fantastic. I think you know your house well, relatively important. Well, if it goes to court, it doesn't go to court unless it is an issue, whatever it is. So it wouldn't be there in the first place. I don't see what your enthusiasm is about. It's just like having a recording on to make a transcript of the procedure. I don't see why that would make it any faster. That was such a cute little thing. A message request. You may know who. Decide who can message you. Well, fine. Why are you telling me I have a message when I don't? Okay. You can have AI take the decisions, or you can have it simply write up a very complete reason for the particular decision. Now, of course, civil disputes. Yeah, well. Great. Congratulations to your court. But I don't like the idea of everything being handled by AI instead of human judges, because AI will go by the letter of the law, which eliminates a lot of more sensible sentencing when a judge knows all the precedents and what would really work. So, no. But most people don't expect that. If you are there because of a traffic ticket, you get the fucking ticket, or you explain why you got the ticket, and then they make you pay the fine anyway. It's like, no big deal. But there are cases that are decided unfairly because the people's situations are not taken into account, where a human judge can. What is incorrect? Do you sit and watch courts? Have you ever been in a court? Have you ever taken anyone to court? Has anybody ever taken you to court? Well, I don't know that. And I wouldn't trust it. Especially, like, I just watched a case where the judge decided not to put this person in more problems. Instead, referring her to his foundation, which paid her fine for her so that she would have a clean start and not have to give up the car she was living in with her child. But letter of the law, there was no foundation to take care of that, and she would have had to go to jail for 30 days and lost her car, and who knows what would have happened to her kid. I don't know. It's not a fact yet. It's not a fact. It hasn't happened yet. They're going to do it, but there's no cases that you can refer to and say, this went better with this AI than it could have with the judge. The hope of that is it's going to be impartial judgment, and you can just request a printout of the whole reasoning behind the AI's decision. Yay. It's true, a judge cannot, on the average, sit there, but most people are not going to want a whole readout. But it will shut up a bunch of lawyers. And by the way, what does a lawyer do with AI? They make an appeal to an AI? Well, I would have to see it. It's not a fact until it's a done deal, and it's not a done deal. Show me a record of cases being decided by the AI. Right now, it's just an experiment. There is no precedent. It's creating a precedent now. Since AI itself, as a tool, is still considered fairly new. And a lot of humans are not going to be happy about this decision. Make an appeal to the computer. Make an appeal to the computer. How wonderful. You're just enamored with AI. Yeah, I just think that's, it'll help not waste time in some things, and other things it's going to be a very inhumane system. Oh, come on, heat. Still no heat. That's discouraging. It's what time? 4:04 and we still don't have heat? You know, Charlie, people will have all kinds of ideas about computers and AI. I always go back in time to a movie called Sleeper. I think you should watch that. I'll be back in a minute. 2 minutes. Okay. Can we have a conversation on this topic? You already had the conversation, so no. I'm done with this topic. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. And now it's boring. Well, I don't know how they're not going to fix it. If they don't fix it, we can't go a week. And we've got a bunch of sick old people in here. We've got people on oxygen, you know. I mean, they can't, like, leave anywhere. There's no place for them to go. So, yeah, it's serious. So, I'm going to end the show just before 5 o'clock so I can go downstairs before the office closes and see what they know, and then I'll come back up. Because I can feel the cold draft behind me, which is a bad sign. The walls, all the metal things are cold. So I've got my little heater across the room, but it's not going to be enough. I won't be able to keep the whole apartment warm. So yeah, once the sun is down, I'm probably just going to have to go hide in my room, and because it's easier to contain. This room does not have any doors on it. It opens right to the kitchen and the hallway. So yeah, there's no keeping the heat in one spot. But in the bedroom, I've got one door. It's easy peasy, small room. Well, on one hand, it's really good. On the other hand, I've got the penthouse. So there's nobody above me keeping heat in. And with all the roof getting the wind, that's taken my heat away. Plus, I'm a corner unit, so I've got extra window. So yeah, it's not the best place to be when the heat goes out. It's also not the best place to be in summer when the air conditioning is so crucial here. One day at a time. Things will be alright. Like I said, life is always a matter of wanted and unwanted, right? We're always going to go back and forth, wanted, unwanted, and that's our contrast. But when we catch ourselves looking at and feeling about things that are unwanted, we are doing ourselves an injustice. We're creating what we don't want. That's what's getting the energy. So it behooves us to take the time to center ourselves, meditate, change the dial, do something out of what we were just doing to change our energy. If we don't do that for ourselves, we're going to get stuck in cycles of just thinking about the same shit over and over and over and ruminating. That's what that is, rumination. And if we're ruminating, we're not making anything good for ourselves. We're draining our energy. We're basically setting up more problems in our future path. So it's true, right now there is no heat, and I don't want to be responsible for having created that situation by worrying about, super cold out, and then last time it was super cold, our heat went out. Oh my God, we're repeating. So I only want to see it as a solved issue. Solved problemo. And in order to do that successfully, because it's hard to ignore a physical circumstance. If you start getting cold, you're feeling the cold. And if you're feeling the cold, you cannot talk yourself into feeling hot because you're busy shivering. Oh yeah, I'm warm, I'm warm. And your brain will never buy that. So instead, you have to come up with other better feeling thoughts, and you use your body as your antenna. If your body is feeling more relaxed, you're on the right track. If you start feeling tension or negative emotions, you're on the wrong track, and you have to stop because you don't want to bring more of that negative shit and inspiration into your world. So it goes back to, all right, um, real life circumstance. It's cold, it's getting colder. On the other side of that is my bedroom is cozy, and when I pull the curtains closed, it blocks any draft right there. It's really a good insulator, and I've got a buffer in my bedroom that way. Put the heater in there, close the door, and it's like airtight. Well, not really airtight, but close enough to keep the warm in. And I've got a little hot plate like I have out here for my coffee or my tea. I can make myself some soup and have it in bed watching the laptop and hoping the laptop keeps going. But you know what I mean. You find good things to focus on and work in creating a better feeling situation. So I'm not going to give me all that negative back. I have to give me the best sides of it, best possibilities in it. I don't think it's boring. I think it's sad. You'll never have a conversation with me when we disagree. Charlie, I think it'll be AI in a courtroom would be great for a whole bunch of different kinds of simple cases like traffic issues, accidents. When it comes to certain other things, I don't know how good it would be. So I just don't feel like, because it's not in practice yet, not in use yet, it's in your country, not mine. I'm glad you're happy about it. I don't see anything to get excited about. But I'm not a lawyer. It might be, oh, look at that. We don't need lawyers anymore, nor do we need judges. You can just show up and talk your excuses about this into a microphone. AI will make the decisions based on whatever facts are available. Congratulations. Now what do you want to discuss? That's the whole short and long of it. You don't have examples because it's not in service at this point. It's just a concept that they're going to try. So to me, it's boring. That's all you can say about it. Like, yay, AI. Practical application. Are you still talking to your AI bot? But I don't see where there's a conversation in this. You're in a different country. I'm not interested in your court system. I have no reason to be interested in your court system. Where's the conversation? That's a conversation I have with someone who's going to be affected by it. It will not affect me in any way, shape, or form. So therefore, my interest level is very small. Kind of like your interest level in me not having heat in my apartment. You are in love with this idea. So great. I take the sleeper attitude. And that's where I'll leave it for now, because it's easier for you to go watch the movie than it is my interest level to keep talking about it. I'm not interested in talking about AI in general right now, so they wouldn't have invented AI if it didn't have practical applications. So they're trying it in what they see as a practical application. It may or may not work out great. We'll find out after it's been working for a while. And that's not what you started off with. principles. Well, if you watch the movie, you would understand where I was coming from in the subject. Which the comedy, it's a comedy, by the way. It's a science fiction comedy. It's a classic. For some. Oh no, I know we make them what they are. Oh, Agnes, there you are. I have no further information to gain on the subject as it stands right now. And also, there's the matter of whether or not I'm interested in it, and I'm not interested in it at this moment. And you're sitting there being a 17-year-old telling me how incorrect I am. Are you ready for me to shut you down? No, they can consider precedent in a legal sense. That doesn't mean they're going to act like a human judge and make certain kinds of judgments. I'll have to wait and see it in action. Right now, there's not enough evidence to back that up, that they're going to be able to completely replace a human. And if you think that a computer can completely replace a human, then, you know, that's another subject altogether. It can certainly replace us in, you know, in many areas. It's not necessary for humans to be everywhere. At which time and what? I go on talking and then you get one sentence up there and it's going to be out of context. There are certain kinds of conversations I am never going to keep going on my show for the very reason of that. Because it's not a conversation. You're typing and I'm talking. Well, there you go. That's your opinion. And that's done. You have no way to back that up as fact. That's just your opinion. My opinion is the opposite. I don't think it can in all circumstances, in all cases. I say it can in a bunch of different simple kinds of cases. Big deal. I would definitely put AI there in traffic court. Again, eventually, sure. It might also conclude, if it has that much leeway, it might conclude that the human isn't even necessary. So I'm not interested in debating it. So I'll say it again, Charlie. You bring up things I'm not interested in talking about for very long. Like, oh, interesting subject. Okay, we're done. I'm not interested in having that conversation. So if you keep pushing it, you're just going to get on my nerves. Because then you just become like an annoying child who just wants to keep batting away at something because they have an opinion about something that I don't agree with or don't care about enough to have a conversation with. And in any case, it's not a fucking conversation. It's one way because you're sitting there fucking typing one sentence at a time, and my brain is working way faster and more complex than an opinion that's being typed out in slow-mo. Who cares? It's your infatuation currently with AI, because you've been spending days chatting with an AI bot. And you're happy that it's being employed by your government's court system. How interested you think I should be? Or anybody else in this chat room? It's your conversation. Thank you, Meg. Meg and I were talking about something. We were talking, and you came in and decided to just bulldoze over it because you were not interested in what we were talking about. And you made the assumption that we were going to find your fascination as fascinating as you do. And we didn't, and we don't. You don't like that you keep bringing up things and you want to have a conversation. We can't have a conversation. We are nowhere on the same level about most things. You are a teenager, and I am a senior citizen. And there are so many things that come up that are like, oh my God, I was there, been there, done that when I was your age. And it's, to me now, at this point, boring. I want to move on. I'm working to create a different future for myself. And you have some other kinds of ideas, and they're just not that interesting to me. Oh, that sounds interesting, Oink. I hope you do get some help with that, yeah. I'm finding that the Gelinade is helpful. It's definitely helpful. No, I'm not saying I'm too advanced for you. I'm saying I'm fucking older than you and you're boring me. And you keep annoying me with bringing shit like that up and then accusing me of this and that because you don't like the way I don't want to have a conversation with you. Sorry. I've just been there, done that, tired of it. If you want to philosophize with somebody, then find somebody closer to your age or someone in a chat group where you're both chatting instead of one person being able to talk and have to come back. And I'm having conversations with multiple people who still, yeah, we are on different levels with that. I'm bored with what you're saying and you're fascinated by yourself, which you should be, but I'm not going to entertain that in my room. Charlie, you're dominating my page. No, and I never said it did either way. But Oinkness is here. She's in pain. She's my friend. So just sit down and shut up for a while, okay? Are you done with the AI subject? Because we are. And your opinion is an opinion. It doesn't make you right or wrong. It's just an opinion. And you're pissing me off. You don't have conversations like that in this. This is a room with other people in it. And not a single other person here has mentioned AI once. Have you noticed that? Nor has anyone at all expressed an interest in what's going on in the Portuguese court system. This is your fascination. It's not ours. It's not my show is about, and that's that. Listen, I know what you're doing. Stop. Seriously. You are just being deliberately obtuse. It has been noted. So, you're right. It's not about AI. well then don't be here. Leave. It's a free YouTube. Go sit in with someone who will talk about what you want to talk about right now. Well, you're entitled to your opinion, as I am mine. Yeah. I will have to see if I can find some of that. That put a smile on my face. What's the dominant fragrance? Oh, I would never make you wait for me. Hell no. You gotta do something about that pain. I had a wonderful day Monday. I had such a good time and I was so peppy and energetic and rested. But then just standing for 20 minutes, just waiting for my chance to get into the restaurant, my hip was on fire. And yeah, I wish I could have done something then. Oh, please, Charlie. I don't need a drama queen. I thought that was funny. I expect you not to change the conversation. I'm not holding 3 or 4 conversations. Before anybody else talked, you had already made yourself known loud and clear, Charlie, and you have expressed yourself enough. It's all there in writing. Go back and scroll over. Did you not express your opinion for all to read? Did I bounce you out of the room? I did not. Now, I've been waiting an hour for Agnes to get back here. So, you've had the floor all that time. I think you've had enough time of your own in this room today. Unless you want to say something to them. Do you know what it means when someone says they're not interested in something? I don't have to have the same interests as you. I am the broadcaster and you are the person who came into my room voluntarily, I might add. So, if I say I'm not interested in something, then that would sound like I'm not interested in something. And if you continue to type about something I've already stated I'm not interested in, then who is it who is setting themselves up for rejection? Well, there you go. I'm still done with it. I said I wasn't interested, and there we go. So done. But Agnes, I love the AI. No, that's not specifically the only reason. I said I wasn't interested. So if you want to keep making it, I mean, there's lots of reasons why I will not entertain certain things that go on and on and on. And part of that is the age difference. So like, I'm done. I'm done. You know, you can like belabor the thing, but you keep coming back and ignoring what I'm saying. So that's a very childish thing to do, and it pisses me off. So when you start doing that, I'm going to get more and more annoying to you. Deliberately. Because it's easy to get under your skin. So the show is not the Charlie show. And it's not the AI show. It's a show. And we're going to go back to what I was doing. You know my name is A, right? And that my friends call me A? We'll move on. So, oinkness. How is Bereka? And is she with you, or did she go home? Oh, all right. Drum roll, please. I miss having my sound effects. That was fun. I have not smoked a joint in years. Years. Not since I was growing it and felt like, oh, it's no biggie. Just take some out of that jar over there, or that jar, or maybe that jar. Now, I believe I brought up Wednesday, the show. And in the first episode, there is an awesome cello piece. And I was listening to it going, that is bitchin'. And it was just only vaguely, is that familiar? And then I discover it was painted black. Like, oh, I've got to go back tonight and play it again. Also, I would love to know who actually, what is that? Ooh. Hold on. I am pulling up the photo. Oh my goodness gracious. That sounds good. What does it look like? I mean, out of that. Aha, resonance. How well named is that? That's hilarious. Well, when I'm able to get into a dispensary, which will not be probably for a while, I understand that they're very confused about how to handle things between patients like me and regular recreational users. So I have to learn a little bit more about it. But in any case, I'll have my license again in March, so I'm not going to bother going there until I have my license again. All right. I don't know if that's going to do it. Well, I'll have to let it dry and we'll try it again. That's hanging off the camera, this camera. Oh my God, really? A dark 30 in the morning? Was that a substitute typing or is like 3 in the morning? It has been a very long, matter of fact, last time I shopped at Weird Hours was in California. We had a really nice grocery store. Well, it was almost like a department store because it was a pavilion is what it was. I don't know, do you have pavilions in your area? Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's why I break things. I would never, I just can't, you know, when I was growing it, I could do that. But now it would be like I'd break it up and pipe it. Too expensive. I don't like it disappearing and getting wasteful. But right now, I will tell you, I'm starting to feel the chill. I'm gonna go turn my heat up. Well, turn the fan up out here on this little heater. A little closer. Well, it's on. Darn it. Darn it. Sunrise-ish. Oh! Yeah, that's a nice time to go. Really nice. Oh, honey. That looks good. That looks like beedi, like a beedi, the Indian cigarettes. That's how they're made. Only they, you know, they used a leaf, roll it up in a leaf. Hold on. Hello? What is that? Yeah. I have one. Oh, we're not going to get it fixed overnight? Okay. Thank you. Well, that wasn't good. But it was good. They're bringing around heaters because they're trying to get it fixed, but not yet. Exactly, right? Right? Don't waste it. That was the our current, well, she's our assistant manager, so I'm really glad I didn't just, you know, join you. Yeah. Well, I could make myself some soup. I mean, everything else is, we've got electric. As long as the electricity stays on, we're all safe. We can do. But I've been really into the sandwiches while I have fresh lettuce and fresh tomatoes and all that. But that's cold. It's a cold sandwich. So maybe soup is best. Also, it's fast and easy. Oh, I don't want to go, but there's no way I can broadcast from my bedroom. The laptop will not handle that anymore. But usually, right now, it has been doing okay, at least in me plugging into Amazon, and I can watch my old stuff. But it's the processor is not as reliable as it was. So I'm just grateful. I'm really grateful that I've got it. I don't want to sound like I'm not grateful at all for it. I love it. But broadcasting, streaming, whatever we call it these days, it's definitely not up to that anymore. But hey, we will be as if it gets too cold in here, there's some stuff obviously I'm not going to be able to do. Hopefully everything will get fixed in the night. I keep looking at my newest prop. I can't wait to use this for the first time and see what happens. Now, one of the things I was planning on doing today, if I got enough of these, then I was going to start sewing them onto this thing, but we're not going to do that. But another thing was I have to make Toblerina a new bikini that falls apart. I'm planning the video, and it will be hilarious if I can pull it off. So, yeah. Well, if worse comes to worse, I can do that. It's electric. I don't have to worry about gas. That was how I started baking bread every day. I could not justify using that was when I was in a trailer, and I had to have tanks of kerosene for my fuel. And my gas stove was propane, so yeah, the same thing. I had to have my tank filled with that. And you know, if you're using propane when it's cold, it's harder. It takes more to come up. But you can make it work if you just use your gas tank up. So I baked every day because then I was utilizing the heat. I just could not just turn it on. Also, that's a good way to kill yourself. A lot of CO2 in that. So I would just bake bread every day. Then I felt okay just having it preheat and bake, and then go for another 10 or 15 minutes, and then turn it off and let it cool with the heat coming up. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do to stay alive in the middle of winter. That was the winter, though, I developed Raynaud's, because I got the almost frostbite, the chilblains in my toes, because even with shoes on, I could not stay warm enough. It was so cold that the cats and my 88-pound German Shepherd, all of us piled on the bed together because nobody could touch the floor. We all had a huddle. So that was hard. That was the night that the kerosene leaked out. And I ended up losing 55 gallons of fuel I just purchased. So those were the days. And I don't have to do that anymore. So, like, I'm really grateful. The things are so much better and so much safer 60 years later. No, 50 years later. Yeah, 50. Oh my God. Oh. Now, back then, that was, okay, 1977? Yeah, 1977. 1978 was the year after my back surgery. Oh man, I'm so happy I'm in the now. Oh. And see, that's a good example right there. I'm going into the past to an unpleasant experience. We don't want to bring those things forward. And if you tie into it, you remember what it's like, you feel what it's like. When you feel what it's like, that feeling is your point of attraction. That's obviously not, I don't want to feel cold. I don't want to feel those concerns about running out of fuel. But once you dwell on something, once you're focused on it, you have created a vibration. And then you have to change your thoughts. You have to change your vibe. So my vibe is, I will have a very cozy evening. It will be a sweet evening. I will enjoy it very much. And I know I will, because I enjoyed last night, and it was cold in there last night for a bit, and then the heater took care of it, and I was fine. So I will just imagine that all of us get our heads straight on what it is we're trying to create in our personal worlds. One of the concepts about the law of attraction, really about manifesting, when we talk about being selfish, it is not being selfish just about in the things that you have. And like, oh no, don't give away your stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. Selfish is an attitude, you know. And when we are making sure that we are doing something good for ourselves, and at the same time someone else is looking at it and going, oh no, I want you to do this for me. If you do this for me, then we can be friends. And if you don't do this for me, then I just can't be your friend. And you go, oh, well, I don't want to lose you as my friend, so I'll do this for you. And they got what they wanted. You got what you wanted, but they did not, because they didn't really want to do that. But they did it anyway because they were afraid that they might be judged differently. So they gave in to that. But what people are just saying is, we want you to do that to please us. We want you to change what you're doing to make our world go better. Instead of us saying, well, we want our world to go better, so it's our job to make it go better. We can't put it on someone else to make our world better. It's nobody else's job. We have to feel better first inside of ourselves, and then we have to request people just to live their own lives, do their things, do what's best for them. When we want something, the universe knows what we want. And it will find the right people, circumstances, whatever, to deliver it, unless you get in your own way. But when people turn around and go, oh, you made a decision, and they look at you and go, well, you're just being selfish. I don't like that. You're being selfish. You're just doing that for you. Well, good for you. Because what that's really saying is, you're not pleasing me. You're not pleasing me. You're just pleasing you. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Please yourself. That's your job, to make yourself happy. It's not your job to make other people happy. And matter of fact, Just like everything else, it starts with being an inside job. If you cannot be happy in yourself, who's going to be able to make you happy from outside of you? No one can make you happy. They can make you a little happier in a moment, but the minute that's withdrawn, you're going to go back to whatever state you were before they did a little something for you and gave you a moment of happiness. But real happiness is something you have to create because you desire happiness. You make a decision to be happy. Once you decide that you're going to be happy, you're not going to let other people take away from that. You have to be selfish enough to say, I'm doing this for me. And you don't have to do it for me because I've already made a decision to make it, this is about me. I'm doing this for me, not for you. If you are assisted in some way as the fallout of me doing what I want to do, then awesome. I love it when it's a mutual exchange, but it doesn't always work out that way. So the bottom line is, don't make other people responsible for your happiness. You have to be in charge of you. And if you find yourself blaming other people for your unhappiness, it's your problem, not theirs. They're not here to please you, make your world better, just by virtue of their existence. You are not here to do the same for them. If you want to help someone out or do something, that's awesome. Friendships involve that kind of thing. But we know from looking at why people end up depressed. And how come we get depressed? We get depressed because our needs are not being met. But if we are waiting for someone else to meet our needs, and we're putting all of that on other people, we're never going to be happy, because we can't demand that other people make us happy and do things for us and change their worlds to accommodate us. That's not what they're here for. They're here for their lives, like you're here for your life. So if you want to be happy, make a decision that you are going to be happy. You have to say that to yourself. You say, I have chosen to be happy. And the more you say that to yourself, the more you start to recognize when things come up that are demands, really are unreasonable demands from people outside of you. You'll learn to recognize them, and you'll learn to say no. And sometimes you'll say yes. You may say yes a lot to people's requests of you. But when it comes time for you to say no, because that's how you feel, don't make yourself say yes. That is not, that when we say being selfish, saying no, when you're feeling a no, I don't want to do that today, or I can't do that because, well, I really planned on doing this, and I really want to do this, and I'll have to stop what I'm doing to help you do something that you decided just now you wanted to do. So I love you, but we're going to have to arrange to do that because I've already planned on doing this. That is protecting your happiness. But if you go, oh, you want something? Well, okay. And you put everything aside and postpone your joy so that you can go and make somebody else happy. But you're really postponing your joy, because when you do that, you start to feel things like resentment. You don't feel joyful with your friend. You're not giving joyfully. And when you do that, you're betraying yourself and your friend, because you're giving them a vibration that's not happy. It's not joyful. It's not anything but progressively resentful that you went ahead and said yes when you felt your real answer was no. So protect your happiness. You're not obligated to do things. I mean, we're not talking about a child. If you have a small child, a child isn't incapable of doing something on their own, of course, you have to be there for them. That's your job. But once they're able to do things on their own, and they don't need diapers changed, and they know how to get food for themselves, you don't have to feel like you have to run and take care of their every whim or even every need. You know, there's times when you can say, look, I'm really exhausted. I just did all the shopping. There's food right there. Go ahead and fix yourself a sandwich. You're old enough to do that. You know how. kids should know how to do basic things like that. So, I mean, if I had a child, that kid would know their chores. They would know what's expected of them. They would know how to do things. I would be training them. This is how you make a sandwich. This is how you make your tea or your chocolate milk or whatever it is. You teach children how to do stuff so that you don't become a slave to your child just because you gave birth to them. We have a lot of unhappy, needy people because of helicopter parents monitoring every single thing they do until the kid has no freaking self-confidence because the parent's always doing for them or forcing them and making their decisions for them. It's like, ugh, yuck. How about a little bit more distance and let them fall down and get up on their own and understand what it is to be responsible for themselves and stop whining about stupid shit and make it clear that, well, you're capable. You can do this. Instead of sitting there complaining how it is, get up and do it. And same thing for us. You know, if I want to eat dinner, I'm not going to sit here and wait for someone to fix it for me because, like, who the hell would be doing that? Should I sit here and hope that someone's going to order me some Chinese food? Oh, I see you're hungry. I'll go ahead and order you your favorite Chinese food, and just don't worry, it'll be showing up at your door any minute. And then you just have to throw away the empty containers. I'm realistic enough to know that ain't happening, and I am also an adult enough to not ask that people do that for me. You know, it's like, if I'm hungry, I bought food to feed my face already, so all I gotta do is fix it, and I have food. Now, when I'm fixing food, I will fix something that will make me happy. I will fix something that will encourage me to feel cozy and self-loved and self-cared for. And I will get out my cozy, fuzzy pajamas and make myself a little nest in my bed. And I will be my little squirrel self. What would I talk to my child about? Well, whatever my child needed to talk about if they were my child. I would have been bringing them up from a very, birth. And there would be lots of rules and regulations. And there would be lots of freedoms. But, yeah, I've had to live on the street, so I would make sure my kid understood what it's like and why it's important to avoid that. But, of course, every age brings its different things. So I of course, have to hear what my child is saying. But there's lots of reasons I didn't have children. And part of that was because I did not want to bring a child into this world. And I did not want to have to worry about him. Like right now, my sister is splitting her time between her job, which is exhausting, and her daughter and son-in-law's house because they have a baby, so she can be there to help raise the baby until the baby and the parents are all caught up. That's not what I saw myself doing. I did not want to be the parent or the grandparent. I'm fine being a long-distance aunt who occasionally gets to see the kid and watch its progress and stay out of it unless, as a family member, they need me for something. I do have a niece I adore, and I'm watching her go through her 20s, and I see some of the same struggles that I had, and that's life. So she knows I'm here if she wants to talk, and in the meantime, I stay out of her business. She's got to do her thing. She's got to live her life. Okay, oink. And she's got to make her mistakes. And there are some things that you just have to check out on your own. Your first relationships. No parent can really tell them enough. And you have to try things yourself and figure it out. You gotta fall in love, you gotta get your heart broken, you gotta break somebody's heart, you gotta go through all that shit. And it's not fun, but it gives you your foundation for moving forward, for your next relationship. I don't regret my marriages just because they weren't forever. I learned a lot about people and relationships and myself, so it was worth it. Would I marry either one of those guys again? No. No, no, no. But I'm glad I had those experiences, painful as some of them were. Many of them were fabulous and amazing and just every kind of wonderful. Ah ha ha, guess who called you this morning? Crazy lady? Aloha. Okay. Okay, well, everybody hurry back because I'm getting hungry and this room is getting too cold to keep warm with one little heater. Yeah, I keep coming up with a message request. I don't have any. Oh! Oh, that's. I wonder why it took so long. I just now got this. Funny. But now we are connected. That was to ask me if I could babysit the dogs. Okay. I responded. You can say that I've seen it. Now you can stop showing it as something I didn't answer. Yay! Okay. Well, sweet dreams. And hi, Meg. Oh, that's so weird. I swear Facebook just... Ugh. If it wasn't for SimCity, I would have deleted Facebook already. I didn't say I wouldn't take you seriously. That's not anything like what I said. I don't take you seriously. No, I've just been through so many of the same kinds of conversations. It's boring to me at this point. That's all. And there's your phone again. Good night, sweetie. I'm such a bitch, right? Okay, guess who called me? We're back to the beginning. I guessed it was Crazy Jenny. crazy lady. Is it? Or is something really out of the blue? Well, thank you for your thoughts on the subject, Charlie. Charlie, it depends on what you're talking about. I'm just tired of shit. I'm sitting here in a house without heat, and you want to just keep going on and on about this thing. Well, you might be right. Because sometimes, well, I'm not even going to go there. I don't want to talk about it. I'm waiting for Doc to finish the subject that he started here. And then I'm going to be segueing into my dinner. I need a warm room. You too. Sweet dreams. Go get some rest. Do not stay up half the night talking to AI. But then again, maybe you should. Ask its opinion of the movie Sleeper. Doc, what happened? Surely you could have said who in all of this time. Of course. You've been thinking about her because she's a bad vibe. Yeah, the would-be pill thief. Did you ever put a lock on it? See? Likeness was right too. Why don't you just have it delivered to you? Don't ask her for anything. That puts you in her power. Are you crazy? You're crazier than her if you ask her for a favor. No. You can't justify it. Sorry. There's gotta be at least one other person on the fucking island that can do that for you, or order it through Amazon or something and have it shipped to you directly. You talk to her and ask her for a favor. My goodness, how do you feel about it? So why did she call you again? That's what I want to hear. I'll ask her for a favor, and then I'll owe her a favor. Because that's how those people work. And she won't remember any favor you did for her. She'll want a new one. And Oinkiness, which one did you end up trying, and how was it working? She's a nightmare. That's why I said if there's no unsticky way to work with that woman. All right, she's not just a user. She's trying to get into his medicine cabinet to see if there's anything she can steal. So she's not just a user, she's a thief. You don't invite the devil into your house. And you don't ask them for a favor because payback's a bitch. And she is a bitch. And why do you want to even touch that sticky energy? You figure it out on your own. You figure another way to get your damn TV. Because, yeah. She's nuts. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm glad it took the edge off. Yep. Yep. Exactly. Well, they have to deliver it if it's coming in the mail, right? Can't you do Amazon for it? Or is the refund for a specific brand or store on the island? You'd be better off giving $20 to someone else for gas and get a ride from someone who is less crazy. I've never heard of. You're on Maui. It's not the smallest island. They don't deliver TVs. They have a rule about it. Oh, look, it comes down to this. If you don't want sticky energy invading your space, sticking, okay, it will affect your mood. If it affects your mood, it affects your ability to manifest good shit. You're going to manifest the crappy feeling. Why do that to yourself? You already know her in advance. She's fucked you over before. She makes you uncomfortable from the get-go. She is sticky. She's got her own problems. Let her work them out on her own. They're not yours unless you engage with her. As soon as you engage with her, or this goes for everybody, you engage with sticky energy, you're asking for it. You're asking for it. And then you have to work twice as hard to get them out of your aura. out of your energy system and getting yourself nice and level again. So, look, no matter how emotional I can get while I'm on this show, second it's turned off, I've learned to be able to just shut it off. I mean, unless like one of you is grieving a loss, in which case my heart's going to be with you. I'm going to go and light candles. I'm going to pray. That's different. But if we're just talking about something or anything, when I go off, it's whatever you're working on is yours to work on. It's not mine to work on. So I can want the best for you, but I can't create it for you. I can only show you and teach you how to do it for yourself. But it's your energy, your work. That's the best I can do. Yeah. Well, that's her problem, isn't it? She doesn't have friends because she doesn't know how to be a friend, and so she can't make friends. If you want to have a friend, you have to be a friend. That's the equation. That's why friends can do things for each other. Yeah, and this frog, you, always gets stung. Always. So you can pretend to be naive about it, but you will pay a price if you ask her to help you with a favor just because you want your TV. You had money to give away to somebody in your building for an anniversary that they weren't expecting, which made you look like you had money to other people because you did that in front of somebody. Not even the mailman. Well, that is bizarre. Well, so in other words, if Amazon shipped it, there's no Amazon truck on Maui. They don't do the deliveries. But if you have the money to give away some as a gift, then spring for somebody's gas. Ask somebody. There's certainly got to be at least one person who works or lives in that building of yours. At least one person. And you can pick it up. They're not going to have to pick anything up. They just have to do the driving. I think that you can find a way to work it out without having to turn to a crazy lady. Because I can tell you exactly how that will work. I mean, like seeing a vision. It's clear as frickin' day. The energy of that woman is not going to change because she doesn't see a problem. And she's never going to get rich with what she's doing. Oh, of course you would, Wank. Because you're a nice person. And you're generous, and you're loving, and you care about people. Of course you would. And he wouldn't have to worry about when you get back to his house, you saying you need to use the bathroom and hiding out in there in 20 minutes while you go through everything to see if there's anything you can use. Yes, it is. Maui is a beautiful island. So Maui, stretch yourself a little bit, because I'm going to guess that anybody else is going to be a better choice than Jenny. Well, it is Maui Wowie. Yeah, I've never tried that. That is one strain I have never had. But I don't know what they even have anymore. I mean, oh my God. There's so much new stuff in the marketplace. The names are just out there. Now see, my state, the dispensaries does not allow for street names. They consider things like Maui Wowie or sour candy, any of that. Those are street names, according to the state. They do more like chemical names. And it's like, what? I'll never remember this. I'm not going to get this again. I'll never know what this is. PH68BZD. What? What? Well, there's definitely stuff I want to try. I do want to try a moon rock. It just sounds too fun. And there's some other combination kinds of things that they've created that sound intriguing. Like, I might not like it in the end, but it's like, well, I've never tried that and I've never seen it. So, imagination. Let's see what it's got. You do. Ask around. You're a friendly person, Doc. Friendly enough to give a card to somebody else who lives in the building. So, it's not like you're a stranger. You see people, you notice things. Well, I guess somebody must like you. If someone's doing that for you, you're attracting some good stuff. So don't give in to using the dark side. You never get away with it unscathed. You pay a price every time you connect with negative energy like that. You can't help it. That is the way it works. So don't get sucked in. You have a need, but the need can be answered through higher calling. Love instead of fear and concern and anxiety. Yeah, I don't. So you must have something going for you there. All right. Exercise time. All right, everybody. You want to attract something. All right, anything. A job, some weed, dinner, hint, hint. You want to attract something. Here's a good way to start. It doesn't matter what it is that you want. All right, you have to have the right vibration to start with. So I want you right now, every one of you, just take a minute to think about a happy memory. Come up with something happy that has no negative connotations on its edges. Something you can just say, yeah, I really enjoyed that. That made me feel good. Whatever. A food that you had, a weed that you've had, a friendship you've had, a lovemaking session, an overwhelmed with beauty of art, whatever. Come up with something right now. Think about something that makes you go, I want you to feel that yourself right now. What makes you do that? What can make you do that? Oh, yes. I might have seen pictures of that. He's grown it into a tree. It blooms like every other tree. And when it goes into flower, you pluck the flowers. That's how it should be, right? Yeah, when I read about that years ago, it was awesome. The tree was like this big around, and it was in the backyard with lawn chairs under it and the whole bit, a little table. It's like, that is the way to do it. Because if you have the right weather, it is a perennial. But we grow it, I mean, professionally, we grew it as an annual, you know, every 3 months or so, the crop was done. You didn't wait for it to go through a seasonal cycle. You just chopped it down, took all the flowers off, and then planted more. But I love the tree idea. Oh, Doc, here's, you have the ability to barter. Might be somebody you can do a favor for if they do a favor for you. But not have a crazy vibe to it. Just a normal exchange of energy. When I'm looking down, I'm reading what you guys are writing. Now, thinking about a big weed tree puts me in a happy place. That's a nice thought. Meg, when can I see you back? Got a happy thought? Personal happy thought? You don't have to share it in the room. So something that elevates you. We always need to have some of those. That's why we do the 5 finger of joy exercise, to do the body-mind connection, happy memories in each fingertip. We have to have lots of different happy thoughts, different ways to help ourselves. All right, Meg. See? I would think, if I was you, I'd probably reach for a Taylor Swift concert that was really rocking and everybody having a happy, wonderful time and high energy for everything. And that's just kind of stuff you can float on, right? You can take wing to it. That's what I'm talking about. You need those happy memories to bring your energy into alignment so the universe can give you what's waiting for you. Because every time you drop out of that happy spot, your energy goes with you and you get more rooted in your lower chakras, the earth stuff. That's not manifesting energy. That's just for survival energy. So we need to, in order to manifest the good stuff, we have to rise above it. We have to reach for the better feeling vibes. Those are the happy memories, the good events, things that we can look back on and go, oh yeah, it may have been a long time ago, but I had a damn good time. And you go right to that place. That's what you want to nurture in your gut. You want to feel that rising up here in your heart and higher. And things start pouring in. So, Doc, before you go out there looking for someone that can give you a hand with picking up the TV, get yourself in that happy place. Sit in that happy place for as long as you can. If you can do it for a couple of minutes, excellent. Can you do it for like 2 minutes? Holy shit, that's a grand prize. Grand prize vibe. There you go, see? Look at that. Took you right out of the edge of a panic attack. Holy mackerel, the power of that thought, right? That's how fast we can change our physical chemistry. That fast. So what's the concert? Who's the concert? Who's giving the concert? I have been intentionally developing a couple of fantasies in my head. No, I'm not telling you what they are. They're not dirty, but they're fantasies. But they're fantasies that make me feel like, yeah, like that, okay? Like I'm at a Taylor Swift concert having a great time. we have to get ourselves there. So when I am thinking about something that's bringing me down, it's like, nope, I'm not staying down. I know that's going nowhere. It's not allowing the energy flow. So I'm able now, in the last few weeks, it's been like, bam, I can just get up there really fast, and it's faster all the time. It doesn't mean I don't have those anxiety moments of something not happening that I want to happen. It's like, no, I come up with a better feeling thought. I'm able to put these more anxious, negative memory kind of thoughts. Every time we think of succeeding, if we've had failures, then those failures will come up to deny our ability to succeed. So those have to be dealt with. When those things come up, we go, wait, I recognize you. Just because I didn't do it when I was 12 or 10 or 20 and I couldn't do it, doesn't mean I can't do it now. I'm older, I'm wiser, I'm more experienced, I can handle this. We can't let ourselves get chemically, emotionally carried into a past fail when we're seeking a success. Primus. Oh my God. Wow. Well, that's a big happy thought. I have never seen them in concert. Primus wasn't around when I was going to concerts anyway. But my favorite song is Detachable Penis by them. I think it's freaking hilarious. Now see, the power of the mind. We can train it to support us, or we can let it run amok. Just stay with all the animal people, all the animal thoughts, all the stuff that just keeps us grounded on earth as humans, instead of recognizing what we are and how we created the human. So keep trying to rise above any feeling that brings you down, and don't let anybody tell you, oh, you're being selfish for doing that. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to be. Let them learn how to take care of their energy, and don't you try it and babysit theirs. We have to be ourselves. And the more you find out what you really are, the more exciting things get, and the faster changes happen. So yeah, I'm excited. And Doc, remember, getting this help should be easy. It's not a laborious process. Do it in your head first. Do it in your head, just see it happening. You don't have to find out how yet. Just, this is what I need, universe. Show me someone who can help me. And then just do whatever intuition is telling you to do, and you will bump right into that person who can help you. I had surprise offers of help this week where I never would have expected it or asked it. So you don't know it's going to be possible until you give it to the universe and keep your vibration high and happy. The longer you can stay in that state, the faster things will come to you that you want, that you like, that you can enjoy and get even happier about. So do it. Try it. See, you were looking for help to get a TV. And the first person that popped into your head was the sickest of people that you know. So that was just the first response, Maui. Now, Now that you know it's possible to attract someone healthier, more fun, safer, all around, then that's what you want to focus on. Not the person, because you don't know who that is right now, but you'll be inspired to know. But right now, you just want to focus on feeling good about it. Like, I'm going to get the TV. Just focus on the TV and that joy you will have in getting a new TV. Not how it's going to get to your house. Just focus on, yes, it's mine. It's magnetic. It's coming to me. And the way will come. And you'll have to see this for yourself. Because no matter how many times I say what to do to make it happen, until you do it and it happens, you're not going to trust just words. You have to learn to trust yourself. And to recognize your own power and how to work with it. So, go for it. I'm going to go for dinner. I have a nice selection. So, Whiteness, I'm glad you found something to help. Doc, I'm glad you brought up this incident because it's important to see what happened there energetically and how she called you, why she called you. So now you know you accidentally brought her right back into your scene. And now you get rid of her just as easily by just focusing on the joy of receiving your TV. The right person will connect with you. The universe loves you, so you love you. And don't worry. It'll all be okay. Everything's going to work out. Remember, things just happen to go easily for me. Things always work out for me. Things just seem to work out for me. Keep saying it. It's not even been a week yet. Come on. 1 week, we said. 1 week. So, keep saying it for another couple days, and let's check in on Sunday. But I will be here tomorrow at some point. It's Saturday, so probably early in the day. Because we're going to get some shit done tomorrow. We'll have sun, I think. We will have extreme cold and wind, I know. But also, I'm seeing the heat coming back on and everybody being cozy and safe. Things always work out for me. Things always work out for me. Thank you, Mig. So, sweet dreams, everybody. Eat hearty, eat well, and sleep well.